On 2nd of April, we celebrated World Autism Day, and that is the reason why today we are at Autism School International. My name is Juliet Modoni, and you're most definitely tuned to 3T TV, which is Thika's #1 online news channel, where we are telling the Thika story as it is. We hope that by the end of this segment, you will have learned more about autism. And if you haven't subscribed to this wonderful channel, we will have given you a good reason enough to. So let us dive right into it. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Welcome, Juliet and the team. We really appreciate you for coming. It's a pleasure having you here. This is Autism School International, where we foster children who have autism and all other learning disabilities. We foster them education, independence, and their talent. We nurture their talents.
So that means an all-rounded person at the end of the day.
Yes.
Please tell us who you are and the role you play at Autism School International.
Thank you. My name is Winfred Oidaka. I am a born-again Christian. I'm a psychologist, and I work here as an operation manager.
Now, Autism School International.
Yes.
When did the school start?
The school started 2016, and why we started this school, it's because also we had a challenge. I'm also a parent of a child who is autistic and also visually impaired, and that's why we started the school, because we also had a challenge also for getting a school for him. And where we started the school, we started with a regular school, and he could not stay more than 2 hours. He was everywhere, he was all over, he couldn't cope. And within 2 hours, we had to pick the child back home. And since then, we really started struggling. Now, where can we take our child? And this is where the journey started, thinking of taking a child to a special school. Where we took our child to a special school, he was tiny, he was blind, so he could not cope also, because it was a public school where we were asked to take our child with a house help. So it was very difficult taking the child at 8 and at 12:30 pick the child with your house help. It was also expensive for us, and that's where we really had to sit down with my family. My husband is Samson Waidaka, who is very supportive in this journey, and we sat down and really rethink, where do we, at that moment we had seen so many other children of the same who are autistic, also parents struggling as the way we are struggling. And we try to rethink, can we have a space where we can be having a therapist, a teacher, and also a care, somebody who can take care of them, and then we'll be picking them every day. And at the end of the day, those who came to us for the school, they came from very far when we started that small. We started in the house. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder which affects communication, it affects imagination, it affects socialization, interaction, and with all this impairment in the brain, it makes these children, they are hyper, they are those doesn't have the eye contact, they don't have the coordination, they don't have also they don't have the sense of danger. So what happens is that when you have this child, if you don't understand so well, you may confuse that the child maybe is rude, maybe the child doesn't it's like the child has behavior challenges, but when you understand exactly your child, you are able to have good intervention.
Thank you. I like how you have, simplified what autism exactly is. Now, here at Autism School International, you pick kids from what age up to what age?
Thank you. We take in children from 5 years to 15 years. Why we take from 5 years, Juliet, is because when the child is 5 years, it's like he has 3 years. They are those delayed milestones. So when you take this child of 5 years, you have to assess the child so that you can tailor-make the program for the child. All these children are different and unique, and that's why we don't train them like the regular children. We train them individually. That's why we do individualized education program. So we deal with individual, we don't deal with the class. So as much as we have the class, we have to assess and also group these children in different levels, because also the encoding also is different.
When we were having a conversation earlier, I was asking how many number of children are usually in a class, and you said that it varies.
Yes.
Please explain further about that.
Yeah, thank you. It varies because if this is a class of, we have a class of the small who are 20 in number, but in this class we have 6 teachers.
So these are the 5-year-olds?
Yes.
20 in a class?
20 in a class.
With 6 teachers?
6 teachers. With these 6 teachers, it's because we have to train so many things at the same time. There is that teacher who is a pot trainer, and he doesn't do anything else. There's that who takes care of bringing porridge, the teacher who controls the class, and there are those teachers now to train. So if you don't have enough teachers in class, you may lose even getting achieving our goals. But when we have all those teachers, because we have different levels in the same class, we are able to achieve our goals. We have a class of the small who are 20 in number, but in this class we have 6 teachers.
So these are the 5-year-olds?
Yes.
20 in a class? 20 in a class. With 6 teachers?
6 teachers. With these 6 teachers, it's because we have to train so many things at the same time. There is that teacher who is a pot trainer, and he doesn't do anything else. There's that who takes care of bringing porridge, the teacher who controls the class, and there are those teachers now to train. So if you don't have enough teachers in class, you may lose even getting achieving our goals. But when we have all those teachers, because we have different levels in the same class, we are able to achieve our goals.
Mm-hmm.
As for the small children,
Mm-hmm.
5 years to 7 years, and why we have a big class is because there are so many things that are done inside here. You have to potty train, these children come and they have not learned anything, and we start from the scratch. So that's why we have a very big class, so that we can be conducive even when we are training them.
So the youngest that you pick is 5 years?
5 years. Okay, yes. and it's a boarding school, so that's why we can't take from lesser than that. Also, when you're taking 5 years, it's like you're taking a child of 3 years because of their ability. Yes.
Okay.
Now these children picks from now the toilet training. They can be able to do some of the ADLs. This is activity of daily living, and also they are able to do the part of pre-literacy, pre-numeracy. We bring them to the next level.
Okay.
So in this, all these are foundation levels, but in this foundation, we have so many levels. In one level, like foundation, we have like 8 or 10 levels. So when these children come from this class has 4 or 5 levels. So when they come to this level, now it's like they have gone to the 7th years. So also in this class, we have also like 5 levels. And we also have another class here. So when we did this class, you can see also the whatever you can see on the wall, it's a bit higher, it's a bit elevated a bit. Because now we've moved from the first class to the second, we've now the third one. So here we have some of them have gone out, they are out of foundation, they have gone to the intermediate. And all our children, as much as they are in a foundation, they are in intermediate, they do pre-vocation. And also we encourage, because you understand our challenge, there are those who doesn't have speech, there are those who have hearing impairment, and they cannot be taken. Those who have hearing impairment cannot be taken from hearing impairment school or deaf schools. So most of them, because they are autistic, they are just left. They are not taken in those schools. So we take them. So while I say we take them, now we have to give them the sign language. So our children, we train them sign language. It seems hard, but we really try to, because they don't have the eye contact, but we try our best to make them be able to understand, because we speak as we sign.
I've also noticed the classes are very spacious.
They are very spacious because inside one class, we have different levels. We can have like this class, but I have like 4, like this one have 4 levels. 4 levels, and one is in foundation, but a bit in ADL, it's a bit higher. But there are those intermediate that can be able to do mathematics, they can be able to write their names. So that's why we say it's one class and has 4 classes.
Now, like for example, in this particular class, how many learners do you have?
In this class, we have 17 learners.
17.
Yes.
And how many caregivers?
The teachers, we have 3 teachers.
3.
Yes.
That's a good balance.
Yes. We have 3 teachers, we have 17 learners.
Awesome.
Yeah. And what you can see up here, all these are apples. So we want to train our children, all of them are the same. All are apples. All are the same. What differs is your color and my color. So that's why you can see Collins is white. Alvin is red. Dana is red also. The same, all of them. So why do we do this? You want to understand, if I call Ian, he will say the language, the color. He'll just say orange or yellow, red, purple. So you relate that child with that color. So even if this child will come here and point red, I will definitely know this is my color, this is Dana. So there are those who love color blue, there are those who love color red, color yellow. So whatever they love, because also there is that dynamic of training them, and they are different. So what you do, you just pick what is in that child. You train, you don't train in what you think, but you train according to how these children are, what they love. They love music. So what do I want to say? if the child loves music, train with music. So many things, train with music. Do whatever you're doing, or the learning that you give this child, make it a song. Whatever you want to train this child, make it a song, because that is what is in the child. So what definitely we do, it's like we go to the world of the child, pick the child, and move with the child.
I've noticed that there's a mirror in this classroom. What informed the decision to have a mirror?
Thank you. That's a good question. And why we have a mirror? It's because most of our children doesn't have eye contact. Why do you have a mirror? How do we relate mirror and eye contact? It's because most of these children can, even if you're talking or training, they may not look at you because they don't have that eye contact. So what you do, both of you face the mirror. And then, if I want to say orange, this child will be able to look at the mirror more than he can be able to look at me. So mirror make him understand or see the ribs movement, because he may not be able to look at me direct. So it helps us in learning, improve our learning. All our classroom has rules. They understand. Because our children, as much as they don't have the speech, they understand. So you train them, maintain silence in class, ask for permission when going out of the class, take care of the class items, maintain cleanliness in the class, use polite language when communicating, and take care of our clothes. So why do we train them? We train them because for us, we say we have learned to eliminate, to differentiate the autism with the child. So for us, we take them like other regular children. We don't take them as children with autism. We have learned to separate autism and train them as regular children, and they get it. Our children, we have those autistic children who has visual impairment, and because they cannot learn writing, they cannot use pencil, we train them using the braille machine. And there are those who have been able now to write alphabets. That is where we are, and 1, 2, 3, up to 20. The one who is very ahead is able to write 1 to 20 and alphabets, all of them. But orally, we have those 2 of them who can recite orally, 1 to 100, and 2 of them are also non-verbal, so they may not be able to do them orally, but they can write them. So they use this machine. We also have the Skylar. We have it, but it's not here, but we have it. But most of them have been able to use the braille machine for now. Also, we have the IT. We have those who are doing the IT with us. And they are doing so well. That's why you see also we have the Wi-Fi, because most of them are able even to Google what they want. So they type what they want to learn. And we have trained them to type. We've trained them how to get the learning, whatever they want to learn. If they want to learn ABCD, they'll just go to Google, write alphabets, I want to learn this, I want to have this cartoon, and they're able to do that. So we are training them the programming. Yes, and they are doing so well.
Now, from the look of things, this looks like just any other computer that you'll find in a cyber or in the office. And we are talking about autistic children who have many challenges. You know, you've just shown us that you use Braille. So is this a special computer, or how do the kids go about interacting with it?
Thank you, and that's a good question. Now that we have children with autism, it is true that they are diverse and different and unique. But what happens, as Aria said, that we train them according to, you have to assess them according to their ability, and also because you have trained them from what they are able to do. So we have those who are good at IT. So this is just a normal computer like other computer, but we have trained this child, one, the attention span. We have trained the child, we have conditioned the child to have that coordination. So when we have looked all these things, now this child can come here, sit, and do as we do. So this computer is just like other computer elsewhere. Only that this child have been trained to this level. Yes.
That's very refreshing to hear, because you have demystified something.
Yes.
So these children, they can interact with machines just like any other children,
Yes.
if they are taught.
Yes. And because one what I will say is that when you, whatever they understand, or whatever the talent they have, they put all the energies there. So whatever they do here, it's a great thing. Actually, they can do even more that we think they can do. They do programming so well.
Wow.
Yes.
Now we are talking about autism, and there's a lot of stigma around autism.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell parents out there who probably have an autistic child? What advice would you like to give them?
Thank you. What I'll say about the stigma, I think the stigma is there in all the parents who have special children, because also it started with me. The stigma is there, but by and by, you grow day by day, and you move from one level to another. So when the parent come here, most of them are stigmatized. There are those who are in denial. There are those who have not accepted this challenge. So what I will say to the parent outside is that most of us parents introject themselves to our children, because you are there, you are the one who understands this child, you are the one who takes this child to the toilet, you are the one who knows how does the child ask for food. So you introject so much of ourselves in the child life, and we are not able to move back to get out of that stigma, or to get back to your world. We just most of the parents get inside to the child, live there, and they are not being able to differentiate. So what I will tell to the parent outside is to understand that this child has his own life or her own life, and the parent have his or her own life. So what you need to understand is know your child, support your child, and let your child have the best intervention, or the good intervention, early intervention. The other thing I'll say to the parents is awareness. When you are aware of what is autism, you don't carry it as a bad omen. You don't carry it as God hated you, but you accept and move on. And most of them who have moved on, I have seen them move from one level to the other. And also, when you are able to accept, you are able also to help the child. If you've not actualized to that level, even helping the child becomes a problem.
So we are saying that parents should also work on themselves.
Yes.
It works both ways.
It works both ways, and that's why when we are here, we first counsel our parents, and I'm a psychologist, so we counsel the parents as much as also we take care of the child. If you don't counsel the parent, if this parent doesn't have not accepted themselves or accepted the child, they are not able to support the child. So as a teacher, you can't train a child who is not supported. We have to support the parent to support the child.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are still at Autism School International. Remember, we've given you a tour of the facility, and you've been able to see how they are able to take good care of the children with autism. And now I'm joined by a gentleman who is also at the helm of running this institution, and he's going to tell us more about it. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Please start by introducing yourself. Let us know who we are talking to and the role you play in this wonderful school.
My name is Samson Waitaka Keiro, and I'm a director with Autism School International.
Awesome. Now, there has been a whole journey up until now. I'd like you to tell us the challenges that you faced when you were setting up this institution.
Thank you for the good question. It has been a journey, as you have said, and always a 1,000 miles journey starts with a step.
So kindly take us through the journey of how the school began.
Thank you for the opportunity. Autism School International began in 2016 after we got our last born son by the name Sam Jr. in 2012. And in the course of taking him to school, we realized he couldn't fit in a regular school. And we started the journey of trying to fix him in a special school where he could be taken care of with his condition. Because we realized it's not a disease that can be treated, it's a condition that has to be born with. And so in the course of looking for a facility, we encountered a lot of challenges, and we also came across so many parents who also had such like children, and it seemed like there was no solution for such, because the closest we could get some facility maybe was in Nairobi, and some of the facilities were not even boarding, so it was quite expensive even for us to learn the show. And so we got to a point, and we thought of starting small and looking for caregivers and teachers who could take care of our child, even at our facility that we were in. Even it was like a home, but we had shifted from that home, and we had converted it to a hostel. And so when this happened, we thought of we could get a teacher, a special needs teacher, and a therapist who could be coming to see him in that facility, and then so that he could be able to grow and to learn like those children. In the course of doing that, the word went out, and we got some other people who came looking for such facilities. They could hear we have therapists, and so they could ask for chances to also bring their children. And when they found that there were even teachers, then they also enrolled their children. And we started sharing now, like cost sharing, so that we could take care of the experts. And so later on and gradually it converted into a school. And so we started there as a school. That was in Starehe, pari kunaitwa kwa Makaa. And then so the space was not very spacious. And so the numbers grew to around 10, and by 10 learners, we needed quite a number of teachers and even the other caregivers. And so we found it was a little bit congested, and so we started thinking of looking for a place, and our spacious place, that we could expand the facility. And in 2018 January, God gave us this land. We purchased this parcel, and so in March of the same year, we started construction, and then in September 2018, we shifted to this place. Though it wasn't complete, as you can see now, but at least it was habitable, and that's how now we shifted to this place.
You've mentioned something else interesting. I'd like you to elaborate on boarding facilities. So does the school offer boarding facilities, and for what ages?
Thank you. A good question. Children with autism learn best within a routine. And you need to observe a diet for them so that you can control the hyperactivity in them so that they can be able to be taught and to observe routines and also to obey commands. And so these are boarding facility, and we admit from 5 years to 15 years, whereby the training now happens with the children in the facility and observing routine. It has not been easy, especially the issues of purchasing or securing the land, even before putting up the infrastructure, because the prices of land around here is quite high. And so the biggest challenge we have around here right now is the challenge with the space, because we would want to expand to vocational level, whereby our learners will be properly empowered with skills for economic purposes that can help them to earn a living and to live a life of economic impact. So I would say we have just been walking the journey step by step, putting up the structure, putting up the required amenities in terms of the machines that we require, the classrooms and the setups and the therapies and the dark rooms that are required in a facility like this, and all those facilities, the play games, the play equipment for such a facility are a little bit guided, because mostly they look like in-house facilities, because their play must be a little bit guided. The trampolines, the hammocks and such like things, and even for the therapy and such.
Awesome. Now, how many learners do you have in this institution?
Currently, we would say we have 100 learners.
100.
Yeah.
And I can imagine, how many did you start with when you came here?
When we came here, we were around, I think 8. We were 8 when we came here. The number has now grown to 100.
And how was it like? Did the people around here accept this idea? How was that?
It's a good question. Actually, the facility is beyond the region around here. As our name indicates, this is an international facility. We have learners from South Sudan, Uganda, Tanzania, because the facility doesn't only take care of the children from just within, but it takes care of those learners with autism and other learning disabilities from across, from our region and even beyond.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. As we conclude, probably somebody would like to reach out to you, a phone number and social media handles as well.
Yeah. Autism School International is located in Wetaithia Ward. That is Tora Estate of Wetaithia Ward. And Tora is behind Mangu High School as you travel along the superhighway. And we are also opposite Goigwa Estate. And you can reach the school on 0722 66 26 20, 0722 66 26 20. Not a net contact, you can reach us on 0721 282 123. We are 0721 282 123. We are also on social media platforms, Facebook, Autism School International. We also have a website, autismschoolinternational.org, and we are also on Instagram, also as Autism School International, and Twitter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a director at Autism School International. I have been your host, Juliet Modoni. I hope that you have been able to learn a thing or two and that we have given you a good reason to subscribe to 3T TV. Until next time, take care.